Good morning, welcome to Lisbon in Portugal. This morning we are flying from Lisbon, the capital of Portugal, down to Madeira, Funchal, otherwise known as Cristiano Ronaldo International Airport. The History Channel, I did say Discovery Channel in the description. I meant History Channel have labelled this as the 9th most dangerous airport to fly into. So fuck it, let's have a go at landing an A321LR into Madeira, flying TAP Portugal this morning. So weather in Portugal, it is saying minimum visibility. Oh, for Christ's sake, are you serious? Every single stream, I just cannot get this meta thingy to work properly straight up. So let's go to stream cam already was on. Let's try and get this working. Far out. I set it up before, honestly, I set this up before I start the stream. And then for some reason it decides not to work as soon as the stream starts. So are we working now? Let's have a quick look. While I'm loading this up too, if you did want to fly along, the flight plan is in the live chat right now. It's quite a few waypoints. It's about an hour and 15-minute flight today, so it's a little bit long for a stream, but that's okay. Yay, Meta is working. So as you can see, we have got mist down to 100 feet, but looking around the airport, I suppose there is a bit of a mist, but we have got 6.25 miles of visibility, so it's not really going to affect us. We will get above that pretty quick once we take off. Taking off from runway 02, in which we will do a bit of a 270-degree turn, just about right around, and head down to the island of Madeira. I've been told that's where the butter cake comes from, which makes sense. I always thought that was British, never ever connected the two. Anyway, let's get into the cockpit and we'll get underway. So everything is, as always, flight plan is already loaded. I've already requested clearance. I think we will be taking off and climbing to 13,000 feet. Wind is apparently gusting 4 to 17 knots. This was 33 minutes ago, so I assume it will be the same. Weather in Madeira is 5 knots. That's actually pretty calm for Madeira. Practice flights I've seen it up to 9 to 12 knots. At the moment it is pretty much a headwind coming in on runway 05. So we will come down and so we'll head down to Madeira. We'll make a complete U-turn. And as we're descending, we will be on final approach. So it's really, really tough landing. I have managed to succeed in the landing in the practice runs every single time so far. Whether or not I do this on stream, that is a different question. So without further ado, let's get going. So batteries can come on. APU will get that started. I better get some lights on, so beacon. This really annoys. I have been flying some Boeing aircraft, so I've got the 787-10 now. I did a flight in the 747-8. This is not on stream, this is just for my own pure enjoyment. And the nav and the logo lights are separate. I do like that, but not in the Airbus. Probably don't need to turn on the logo lights just yet, because it is pure daylight. And the APU's got to do that stupid thing where it just fails to start for some reason. There we go, that's on. We'll get our landing lights down now, but we'll leave them off. Wait for that APU to start up. A few aircraft around. Oh no, that's just static aircraft. There's one that's just taken off there. I can hear the sounds of a jetway going, the aircraft next to us. I think that's, now our jetway is going to spring back weirdly. Excellent. This is just the standard AI Lisbon airport as well. I don't have the add-on for this one, but Madeira is handcrafted free from Asobo in the sim. Anyway, APU has started up, so it's APU bleed on. External power can come off and put the seatbelts on. And let's just watch the jetway spring back. Yep, knew it would. Oh, gotta love the realism. But we will start pushback. Better get the fuel pumps on as well. Seatbelts already on. Ignition to start, and we'll get the park brake off also. I'm just going to double check we have got reverses. Yes, we have. Everything else, yeah, cool. Probably should have checked this while I was setting up. And yeah, it all looks good. So pushback today will be back and tail to the left, and we will taxi down this way here pretty much, and then when we get to the runway we'll come out and do a bit of an out U-turn to line up to the runway nicely, because we have got a bit of a lengthy aircraft. And I am going to get engine number 2 fired up now. So we have got N2 rolling up. Beautiful. Excellent. So I have seen other streamers and content creators flying into Madeira lately. Not sure why it's all of a sudden so popular. I chose it because I just randomly picked it. I thought it's about time I did Madeira. But yeah, I have seen a few other people jump the gun and fly this airport on YouTube of late. So just a pure coincidence, I think. I'm going to see if I can get this centered on that line. So we'll start our turn there. Engine 2 rolling up nicely. So we get engine number 1 on. Now, there will be a couple of breaks in this one because it is a bit of a longer flight. I'm at about an hour and 15 minutes. Oh, we're going to be on centre? That might just about be perfectly centred on the taxi line. Oh, maybe not, just a little bit off. That'll do. A little bit off to the left. That's okay. We get that parking brake back on. And I did hear our hydraulics pressurise, if that's the right term. So we'll go flaps to 1 now. We will arm the speed brake. Oh, and I've worked out I had the speed brake bound wrong. So with the speed brake button, or the spoilers button, I can now arm it, disarm it, arm it, disarm it. Before, I was just flicking the spoiler lever to disarm, but now we can do it with the button. And I didn't turn on our AI radio comms, which I probably could have done. So it'll give us our taxi heading. Anyway, we are all fired up. I'm not going to turn the taxi lights on for this one today because it is 10:30 in the morning, broad daylight here in Lisbon. So don't need taxi lights at all. Oops, if I get the right buttons, but I'll just double check we have got our taxi. Here we have, sweet, Alpha 4, Golf 1, Golf 2. Yeah, cool. Did I turn the park brake off? Did I? No, I did not. Parking brake can come off. And we are good to head out to runway 02. I am thinking about buying the add-on airport for this. I've recently just updated Flight Sim to Premium Deluxe because I really wanted the 787-10, and I don't want to wait for Sim Update 12 for the possibility of WASM to come to Xbox, and I'm still not buying a gamer PC just yet. So I didn't want to wait for third-party add-ons to come in, so I bit the bullet and shelled out the $127.95, that's Australian, for the upgrade. because I have been playing this on Game Pass, and so it gives me the 10 airports, Heathrow being one of them. Frame rate just absolutely drops when I go into Heathrow, but it doesn't crash to desktop, which is wonderful. Yeah, so I've got the 787-10, so that will come up. We'll do some flights in that. Won't do long haul, I'll just do some domestic. There's probably some US, definitely some Japanese domestic flights in the all Nippon livery. So they will be coming up. There's no telling when. I've done one flight, and it wasn't too bad. Very, very easy aircraft to fly. Actually makes the Airbus look a bit more challenging. So yeah, that will be coming up in stream in an unknown date. Might do that in December, maybe late November, early December. Just double check, there's nothing, yeah, there's no one around. It's very, very quiet today at Lisbon. What's that flying around up there? Oh, it's company. Oh, they're doing a bit of a fly around. Fun. So if you are a flight sim enthusiast and you do have the game and you want to fly alongside, I definitely welcome it. I am trying to get the waypoints put into the live chat as early as I can, but of course I fly live weather, live time, live traffic, so I never know what my route is going to be until just before I spawn in. So I try to do that during the 15-minute countdown that I have at the start of these streams. And of course, the 15-minute countdown starts 15 minutes before the advertised stream time. So I'll always start on time. Well, try to start on time. This bit here, this is where we're going to deviate. So we are meant to go straight ahead, but it gives us a weird line up to the runway. So I sort of deviate around this bit here at Lisbon. So it brings us at more of a 90-degree angle to the entrance to the runway. So I'm breaking FAA rules and ignoring air traffic control. It sort of brings us around, and then we do another bit of a left. I am taxiing a little too fast for these turns. Displays are a little bit dark. Let's get some light in those. So it brings us, see if we come from that waypoint up the top there, it's just too sharp of a turn to line up, I think. So this sort of brings us straight in. I'm going a little bit too quick. Just drop the thrust down a little bit. Is there anything coming in? Doesn't. Oh, not that we can see. We'll stop here. We should get our clearance. Clear over 3024. I'm just going to put the park brake on because I've got the wrong metadata in front of me. It should be 3024. Oh, I've just updated. Cool, so we've got clearance. We can put our landing lights can come on. Seatbelt's already on. Everything is all good. Strobes on auto. Take the park brake off, and auto brake can go to max. And we have got flap set to 1. Speed brake was armed. Yes, it was. Sorry for the sudden change of views there. It's just a little bit to do all at once. Alrighty, so we are pretty much ready to power up to 50%, and then we'll get this bird in the air. So power up 50. And there's next to no wind. I mean, it says 4 to 17 knots, but I'm not getting any wind here. That's holding steady, so up to flex for takeoff. Where are you, flex? There you are. So rotate is a little over 170 knots today. Passing 100. I'm having to get a little bit of left rudder to keep us aligned. Just an absolute touch. 150. Oops. Going off the same line. There we go. And rotate. Positive right gear coming up. Nice climb out of Lisbon there. Just drop the nose a bit. Don't want to be climbing at 5,000 feet per minute. I will lose that flap. Thrust into climb and autopilot coming on. Nice. That was really nice. Really happy with that. Just check those are not locked. There they were. And we will disarm the spoiler. That was a beautiful takeoff. Really happy with that. And straight up out over that mist, so we will lose sight off the airport. And then we'll make that right turn as we pretty much do a U-ey. Start heading south and get over the ocean down to Madeira. So there's not much to see on the way down. It's pretty much just ocean views, and we might have this cloud cover for a little bit too. I'll just see what ATC is saying. Continue as planned, climbing to 130. So this is almost, I mean, this is the first time I've live streaming the A321LR because I don't have TAP Portugal in any other variant. I might have it in the 320 and the 321, and the 319. But I want to do a 321 flight down to Madeira. So it's a bit of a waste flying the LR such a short distance. But I'm pretty much flying it as just the standard 21 Neo. And this is the 321 Neo from, LR from LatinVFR, and there has been updates to the aircraft, and it's just handling, every update they do, it's handling nicer and nicer. I recommend, if you want the 321 or even 319 to get the LFVR variants. They're not expensive at all, and they're good. They sound great too. But we have passed 10,000, so landing lights can come off. Seatbelts can remain on. Seatbelts will remain on until we have reached cruise. Not sure what TAP's regulation is on that, but that's just how I fly. And the climb performance has improved a little bit. Not much, but it's better than it was. So you can see we're climbing at 2,800 feet per minute. Once we do hit 320 knots, we should start climbing a little bit quicker. But that is coming up to 13,000. So climb, maintain flight level 270. So cruise altitude today is 36,000 feet. And looks like that cloud cover is just on the mainland, and we will pretty much go into clear skies as we leave Lisbon. So another update we got just the other day with this aircraft is a sound update, and the engine they do sound a little bit different, and I like it. Hopefully it's loud enough on the stream. I have been playing with the volumes for the stream, and I wanted the engines to be as loud as possible with my voice still being audible, especially when we go outside. And watching the playbacks here, it's pretty good, I think. Oh, so we're above 180, so we can put QNH to standard. Once we get up to flight level 360 and have leveled out and the engine's settled, I will take a quick 5-minute break from the flight deck. Oh, while I remember, more people are subscribing to the channel, so if that's one of you and you're watching either live or in the replay, I thank you very much. I do appreciate the support. This is a fairly new channel. We're pretty small at the moment, but hoping to grow. Not aiming for the whole monetization thing. It's not a big deal to me. I just want to sort of create a community and get some people flying along. That would be great. But like I said, if you have subscribed, I definitely appreciate it. Thank you very much. And also to people who are liking the videos before or after they have streamed, I thank you very much for that too. It's very much appreciated. Cool. So we can see our climb performance at 2,900 feet per minute. So yeah, previously in the because this is the LEAP engine variety of the LR. Previously it would, I don't know about the LR, but the LEAP one would sort of fizzle out and only climb at 1,200 feet per minute once we'd reach 320 knots. So it definitely, the performance is definitely improved. It will drop, in fact it has already down to 2,700 feet per minute, but it's better than what it was. Sometimes it would take 40 minutes to get up to cruise altitude, which is that's a lot of stress on the engines if this was real life. As you can see in the webcam, I am still in shorts. It is coming into summer here in Australia, so it is really warm. I've got the aircon on inside, and for me it is Thursday night right now, just before 9 p.m. But of course it's just before 11 a.m. in the time zone we are flying in at. Also coming up 270, it should, yeah, it's given us final altitude instructions, so flight level 360, so we shouldn't be too far away from that. We have reached our max speed, so our climb rate is accelerating, so we're up above 3,000 feet per minute, which is great. But as you can see out the window, there is not much to look at. It's just ocean ahead of us for now, with south of Portugal behind us. "30,000 feet already." That is wonderful. really happy with the climb performance improvements that have been made to this aircraft. It's also meant to be colour changes inside, but it looks the same-ish to me. In fact, the colour of the flight deck is nicer than the A320 that comes with the basic version of Flight Sim. It's a bit lighter. The A320 that comes with it's a bit darker compared to this. It's hard to go back to that. But no, I think LatinVFR have done quite a nice job on this. I know they have used the A320 base controls, but they've got their own sort of colourings and layout. And they've got the Airbus logo on all the dials, which I think is kind of cool. Don't know if that is real, if it is actually like that, but it's a nice touch. And look forward to future aircraft they do release. They do a nice job. Oh, a bit of a bump. And it just did kill our climb. We dropped speed a little bit, but we should pick that back up again. Only 3,000 feet away from 360. So with that bit of air pocket that we hit, our climb rate has dropped. It hasn't really recovered that well from the sudden drop in speed. That's okay. We're not too far away from cruise altitude. One thing I've forgotten to do is set my clock on the yoke. I'll do that once we've leveled off, and then I'll go for a 5-minute break. Cool. So as we level off, we'll get the seatbelt signs to off. Passengers are now free to walk about the cabin, and I'm going to set the clock now. I know I'm supposed to hit start on the chrono once we get onto the runway, but I never do. I never remember. I should really time flights. You can see on the clock display it says 40 minutes that we've been active for. That's because in the Airbus, the clock starts, well, in the game anyway, the chrono automatically starts as soon as I spawn in, or as soon as I power the aircraft on, which I feel like is not accurate. But I have got a chrono on the yoke itself, so I can use that. Yeah, the Boeing equipment is a bit better how it starts. As soon as you go to toga, it will start the clock. Awesome, that's us at cruising altitude. We've leveled out, clock is set. Let's have a look at our ETA. So ETA is 12:05, currently it is 10:59, so another hour and 6 minutes until we have touchdown at Madeira. And so it's going to be a bit of a longer stream, I think, than I usually do. I try to keep them under an hour flight time, but I suppose this is just a precursor to what's coming up. I've got some ideas for longer flights, maybe recording them instead of streaming them, so you're not sitting here for hours on end. But that is all to come in the future. Anyway, I'm going to take off for a a quick 5-minute, and we're just going to get thrown around a little bit. we just climbed by 120 feet. Anyway, I'm just going to take off for a quick 5 minute and I will be right back with you. And I'm back. That 5-minute break went pretty quick. Well, it was still well over 320 nautical miles away from Madeira, so let's double check our ETA. Still sitting at 12:05, so another 1 hour exactly until we have touchdown at Funchal Airport. And let's just hope I don't cack it and fuck the landing up. It is possible anything happens on live stream. We will do a bit of a quick weather update at Madeira. Not much has really changed, apart from we have got clouds now down to 1,600 feet. We didn't have that before, I don't think, unless I just didn't pay attention to it. But that's fine because we will come down to 1,200 on final before we do see the runway. Wind 7 knots, it has picked up, it was 5 knots before. That's fine, it's pretty much headwind. Of course, Madeira is known for gusts, so it will be very interesting to see how it goes. And I have based this on a real world flight. Not sure if TAP do fly the 321LR down to Madeira. Like I said earlier on, it is a bit of a waste to fly such a long-range aircraft on such a short flight, but it's the only one. It's the only 321 I have in the Portugal livery. Where we'll, but TAP do fly to Lisbon to Portugal, and it is a domestic flight for them. I know EasyJet frequent Madeira as well, and their 320s, mostly from Gatwick, I think. And I even think Ryanair fly down here as well. Pretty popular tourist destination. I've been told it's absolutely beautiful. I know someone who's been to Madeira, and they've said it is really, really nice. And so maybe one day I'll get there for real. Maybe. I'm actually going to have a quick check on plane spotters to see if TAP actually do have the LR in their fleet. Maybe they do. This is the sort of research I probably should do before starting a stream. Oh, they got the 330-900. I did not know that. Oh, they do have the LR. Okay, cool. They've also got the just the Neo as well, which is probably more likely the aircraft type they'd fly on this route. Interesting. They only have the 330 Neo, the 321 LR, the 321 Neo, and the 320 Neo. Oh, hang on. No, that's just their Neo fleet. Oh, yeah, they've also got the 330, 200, 321 CO, 320 CO with the 319 CO as well. And a few of the Embraer 195s, 190s, and the ATR 72-600 in their express fleet. Cool, so they're pretty much, apart from the Embraers, they're pretty much an all Airbus fleet if you count the ATRs as Airbus. I think they are. I think ATR is part of Airbus, or has something to do with Airbus maybe. Don't quote me on that. the VFR map, I did see another aircraft. Oh, there's a couple of them. Can we see them? Oh yeah, they're way off in the distance. Not sure if they're going to the same destination as us, but they look like they're at a similar altitude, so we will know once we get closer to Madeira if they are on the same heading. There's not really many other airports around this way unless they're doing long haul. Now, if you are watching this on the replay and not on the live stream, if you fast forward, what are we, 55 minutes, around 30 to 35 minutes ahead, that's when we'll start making our descents. Another 30 to 35 minutes, we'll start descending down from 360 onto approach. You can move that slider along and just fast forward through all of this. Of course, this landing will feature on the November landing compilation video, which will come out early December. And I really hope that I don't mess it up. Of course, this is a live stream, so if I do mess it up, there's no coming back from it. What happens will happen. I am keeping an eye on that wind to see if it does increase. Obviously, it is 11 o'clock in the morning at Madeira, just a little after 11 a.m. in Madeira, so it's mid-morning, so the winds can pick up as we get further on into the day. Haven't had too many issues with the ATC not giving us descent instructions late or anything on this flight, which is good. Have had that a few times lately, so I think there has been some updates that are not quite right, which not surprised at all with the simulator. Seems every time they throw an update out, they fix one thing and break another. So I'm a little bit anxious for Sim Update 11, which is coming out. I think it's might be 2 a.m. my time, Saturday morning, so I will definitely be getting up at that time to start the download, so I can start flying as soon as I can on Saturday morning. Really want to get an A310 and have a go on that. I will not be streaming that until I'm confident that I can fly it, because it is a 40-year-old aircraft. I have seen a few videos, because I think it's Innie Builds. I have seen a few videos from with images and things of it. Looks like they have got the glass cockpit mixed with the steam gauges, so at least there's that. I have not flown an aircraft with just steam gauges at all, and not really confident that I could just yet, but we will see. But I will be streaming the A310 in future. I'm just not sure when. I have a funny feeling I'll probably be doing the 787-10 before the A310, and might even throw in a 747-8 flight as well, maybe a cargo flight somewhere. But they won't be long flights. I won't be doing long haul on stream. I'm still figuring out how I'm going to do that. I think I might pre-record and jump cut to jump cut most of the cruise and go straight into the approach, or sorry, descent before approach. But So keep an eye out for those coming up. I'm not putting a time frame on it. So a little bit of cloud down there. At least it gives us a little more to look at than just blue sky, blue sea. I do apologise for the sort of the boring cruise that we have, but I suppose at this point the flight crew will be having maybe a bit of maybe a cup of tea and something sweet, or maybe even breakfast. One thing I will note, there is no scuffs or anything in this aircraft. They've kept it quite clean. There's no sort of wear and tear. But I guess it is a 321 Neo, so it would be fairly new, but it probably wouldn't be this new looking. But I say it again, I think LatinVFR have done quite a nice job on the flight deck, even though they sort of have slightly carbon copied the 320. But like I said before, the colourings are quite different. Awesome. It looks like we are about 320 miles away from turn on to, actually be turn on, it won't be turn on to descent, it'll be turn on to final approach. It's a very, very tight turn. In fact, I'll bring it up on the on VFR map. So if I zoom right out and head down, so we'll come over the, what is that? That is Porto Santo. We'll come past that. So we will see that, and we'll be quite low at that point as well. But this is the approach. So we come down, we'll be at about, I think, 2,000 feet by this waypoint here, 1,200 by this one here, MA520, and then we'll descend down through 400. And as you can see, if I zoom in just not that much, to there, we're still making turn on descent. So it's turn all the way in, and we're not lined up until we're just before we cross over the ocean to the land, and then straight down. And Madeira does sit, actually, I can look it up on the info on Meta, it sits, it's 192 feet up on pylons, and the pylons are down this end of the runway here, so that is not land there, that is actually artificially built on top of pylons, so it's so the runway is a little bit higher up, than it's not at sea level at all. It's quite deceiving when you do come down, and see GPRS callouts rapidly change once you cross over this coastline here. So that's what makes it difficult. This turn is easy, it's the final line up. It's very, very challenging. It looks like we have got someone, they might be heading to Funchal Airport as well. We'll see, we shall see. Can I see them from here? They're not visible. Can we see them from the cockpit? Or flight deck rather. No, we can't. Just out of sight. If you do have any suggestions of routes you want to see flown on live stream, definitely let me know. Especially if you're watching this in the replay, just put a comment on the video. We'll definitely take into consideration. For live streams, I try to keep it under 90 minutes. Otherwise, it's just too long. We're just sitting here on autopilot doing nothing, just talking shit. Which of course I do welcome. If you want to talk Avgeek shit in the chat, definitely chuck it in there. I'm more than open to it. I do sort of keep an eye on happenings of airlines around the world. And if you want to keep up with things like that, I recommend Simple Flying. It's a pretty good channel. They're not paying me to say that. They don't even know I exist. But I watch their channel. It's pretty good. And if you want some decent flight sim updates, I recommend Pilot Stud, which is a British flight sim enthusiast. I think he does some live streams, but he sort of has pretty good knowledge on what's coming up in flight sim. It is mostly for PC, so us Xboxers sort of. He does have information about Xbox, but the stuff he has is mostly for PC. And but pretty good channel to watch if you want to keep up with it. I sort of watch his update videos. They're really, really interesting. And sort of his videos are quite casual as well. It's not just a big advertisement for Microsoft Flight Sim. He throws in his own opinions about things there too, which I do quite enjoy. I'm not sure if he is actually a pilot. Actually, I know he's not a pilot. He might be a light aircraft pilot, but I did see a video he put up a year ago of him flying in a 737 simulator, which was pretty cool. Something I really want to do in future. Maybe head down to Sydney and fly in the A320 simulator that you can. It's just really expensive, very expensive. I think it's around $300 per 30 minutes. Might be $200 per 30 minutes, but still, it's a lot of money. So we're quite quickly coming up to 240 or so miles away from our final turns. Flight radar 24 giving me notifications of aircraft that are squawking 7700 on my phone. Sorry, that's what I'm looking at on my phone. So once we're about 200 miles away, I will take another quick 5-minute break, and when I come back, we shouldn't be too far away from beginning our descent. Also keeping an eye on our fuel. We're down to 5.5 tonnes, which is plenty to get us. Yeah, that's definitely plenty to get us down to Madeira with the possibility of go-arounds. Hopefully, you don't have to do that. Haven't done a go-around on stream yet. I think there's been 3 or 4 times where I probably should have. Definitely when I was, I'm still upset about the Luxembourg landing and the Ryanair 737 MAX 8/MAX 200, whatever you want to call it. And I'm more annoyed because it was my fault that I just messed it up. Just got my auto throttle disengagement all wrong and veered off. Pretty much landed on the grass next to the runway. Shouldn't dwell too much on that for much longer. Could actually talk about the next stream coming up too. Well, just to kill some time, you can bring that up on the iPad display. Didn't think to load this up beforehand, so I'll do that now. Find the file. Oh, there it is there. So just for something different, the next stream will actually be in Guam. So it's an American island territory. They were flying, it's in Micronesia, flying from Guam to, I don't know how to pronounce it, I think it's Shook. And it's about a 45, maybe 55-minute flight. Usually serviced by 737-800NG, but of course I don't have one of those. I don't want to fly the MAX 8 on this route. I'd rather fly the A320, and that'll be in the United Colours. Flying the A320 Neo and using the Bredock 3D sound pack. It does sound really nice. I love the takeoff sound. To me it sounds more like an A320CO, but I've never been in a Neo to know, so maybe it's accurate, but it sounds really, really good. Nice quick flight, and it's all it's no ILS, it's all RNAV, so pretty much the landing's more or less VFR. Only use the RNAV a little bit to sort of put us on descent path, which I suppose that's what RNAV's for. And so yeah, that's coming up this Sunday morning my time, 7 AM my time, which will be, I think that is actually the same time in Guam, but it's 2100 UTC Saturday night. Which of course that is I think that's pretty much the same as UK Standard Time. So that is the next stream coming up in a couple of days, and then after that I have not decided what I'll be doing. Oops, I didn't mean to exit out of that picture like that. Anyway, I will look up my streaming schedule. I've got nothing, I've got it blank. I have got a Boeing 737-8 marker in there, so it probably will be a Boeing flight. Just not sure where I'm going to and from yet. Might do a night flight actually, LA to San Francisco, since I have got the bespoke San Franciscan airport. But I will definitely decide that before the next stream on Sunday. Maybe I've got my confidence up in the 787. We might do a quick 787 flight, but not entirely sure yet. It won't be in the A310. I will have the update, but it won't be in the A310. Promise you that. So just come past 240 miles away from final. We will do a quick check on time. We've gained a minute 12:06, so we are making good time, which is good. And we will do a quick VFR map check to see if we still do have... No, we don't have anyone beside us. They have turned off and they're going in a different direction maybe, or they've disappeared altogether. Okay, cool. Still no land in sight whatsoever. Won't see land for at least 100 miles yet. I am just going to check we haven't had lights turn off. No, they're all still on as they should be. And speed brake hasn't armed itself. Parking brake is still off. Cool. Now I should knock on wood. I haven't had that error with the Turtlebeach where it randomly activates buttons on the Quadrant at all. For the last few flights that I've done. In fact, last time it happened was on live stream on Sunday. Oh no, I lie. No, it happened in the 787 earlier today when I was doing a flight that I turned on the parking brake. But that was the first time I had done it in ages, so we'll just keep an eye on that and make sure it doesn't do it again. I haven't actually checked to see if Turtlebeach have released firmware update. Probably should have done that before the stream, but never mind. Starting to get just a little nervous I'm thinking about this landing because, as you'll see, in around 36 minutes, how challenging it is if you haven't seen someone land at Madeira before. If you want to see some real-world stuff too, jump on YouTube. There is a shit ton of footage from aircraft landing Madeira, from outside perspective, inside the cockpit. There's people screaming, which I never understand. If you're not crashing, don't scream. I mean, seriously, just like pull yourself together. I'm not gonna bitch and moan about people who panic over the smallest little pathetic things that they have no understanding of. But well, I guess I am. But yeah, they just annoy me so much. But of course, at the same time, I love a good bumpy flight. If you've ever flown in New Zealand, especially on Air New Zealand's smallest aircraft, which was the Beech 1900D, into Wellington, you would have come in sideways. It's a shit ton of fun. Can't do it anymore. They don't have the Beech 1900s anymore. They retired those. Their smallest aircraft is now the Dash A300, and but still the same thing. It's just an absolute crap ton of fun. If you ever go to New Zealand and fly into Wellington on a turboprop, don't close your eyes. Just look out the window and absolutely love it. The Air New Zealand pilots are world class. They're really, really good. So your chances of crashing are pretty slim. In fact, that goes for if you're flying any airline into Wellington, whether it be Qantas, Jetstar, New Zealand or Virgin. The pilots down under are highly skilled. Anyway, that's about 200 miles away from Madeira, so I'm going to take that 5-minute break as I did say I would before. So I will be right back with you, and we're not too far away from our descent. We'll probably start making it, I think it's around 125 miles away. We will get instruction to start to descend, so it is a nice long descent. There's no nose diving down, which is really nice. It's not often you get that in the sim, but I'll be back in 5 minutes. I'm back. Did I see someone on the, Oh, there's someone beside us. Oh, cool. Can we see them? Yeah, way off in the distance. Wondering if they're heading to the same airport as us. And we're 160 away, so we're not too far away from descent. Another 40 miles away, and we should start our descent down into the island off Madeira. I should actually watch this. I watched this video back and count how many times I say Madeira. Probably quite a few times. And I hope to hell I'm saying it right. I imagine it would sound better in a Portuguese accent. I will just check ATC. Oh, we had some traffic. Did we have traffic warnings? Oh no, it was those two aircraft that are off to our left. We're still sitting at 360. And while I was taking that 5-minute break, I noticed outside there is a street sweeper, so hopefully that sound is not coming through my walls too loudly. They're not overly close to the fence line, but because I'm wearing noise-cancelling headphones, I can't hear sounds outside. I've had to make a sign to put on the door saying live stream in progress. It literally says live stream in progress, do not knock, just come in quietly. Just in case someone knocks on my door. Cool. So over the next 40 miles, I'm going to randomly just check ATC because I have missed instructions to descend previously. I don't want to upset the ATC controllers, even though they are AI. Oh, and I will check our ETA. Still 12:06, so it's still not losing any time, which is great. Someone is just trying to message me. I'm just going to reply to them real quick while we're waiting for instruction to descend. Oops, and I'll just bump the webcam tripod. Looks about right. So you'll just have my neon camera. Yeah, just telling friends of mine to hold fire on the chat. I will be finishing up in 25 to 30 minutes. Okay, let's check ATC, see if they've given us any instructions yet. They have not, but we can't be far away. I imagine our speed will automatically adjust down to 242 knots fairly soon. as we hit 120 away from, there it is. I knew it would, it always does. On this flight, it always gets us to descend before our speed changes. So I'm going to do that at, we'll do 1800 feet per minute down to start with, and our speed should change fairly soon. There it is there, so just going to drop down to 242. So it shouldn't lift our nose up to slow down because we are high up enough that it will slowly take us down to that speed. And at this point, of course, if being the captain, I would have said something to the passengers about, you would have noticed we have started to make a descent down into Madeira, and I'll give them a weather update. Actually, I'll do that on the stream too. I will update with the weather with the meta. So the wind has changed slightly. It has dropped as well, though, which is good. So 5 knots, still more or less a headwind. Those clouds still sitting, a few clouds, 1600 feet. It looks like it's broken at, I can't actually see. Can I zoom? No, I can't zoom in on that. It looks like they're broken at 1,000 feet, but that won't affect our landing too much. Temperature on the ground 21 degrees, so quite warm for this time of year for the Northern Hemisphere. I don't know what the climate's like in Madeira. I imagine is it semi-tropical? I don't know. I suppose it is south of Europe, so it is heading more towards the equator. Obviously not at the equator, it's still quite a distance away from that. But I imagine it would be a pretty decent climate down there, and the winds that we do get are caused by the mountainous terrain. It's pretty much just a big mountainous rock sitting in the middle of the ocean. Awesome. Now the one good thing about this route is ATC does instruct us to descend quite early, so we don't have to rapidly lose altitude, and we can slowly meander our way down to the landing and get set up for final approach quite nicely. I hate how the camera makes my tummy look really big. It's probably the way I'm sitting. I'm probably slouching just a little bit. You can probably hear my office chair creaking just a little bit too. So altitude target would be flight level 260 at around 80 miles away. So we are definitely going to be well below that, which is great. So we can slow descent down just a little bit. In fact, I'm going to do that now. I'm going to just slow descent down to 1,500 feet per minute. So at 4.7 tonnes of fuel, so we're doing fine for fuel. Of course, if you look on webcam and I peel this back here, you'll see I have got a flashing yellow light saying we have got low fuel. I do say this in every single stream, and it's just an error with Turtlebeach thinking we've got low fuel, but of course airlines don't fly with full tanks. They have as much fuel as they need plus extra for taxiing, contingency, etc. So I have got that covered up with these little black blanks that come with the Turtlebeach. So I have covered those up so they're not distracting. Cool, so we're down to 280, see if we've got another instruction. descend and maintain 220, so we'll do that. We'll keep doing that at 1500 feet per minute as well, because we are a little bit above of where we need to be, which is fine. Sorry, a little bit below where we need to be, which is fine. Rather be a little lower than too high up. The anxiety is starting to set in as we get closer to landing at this airport. Like I said, I have landed here probably at least half a dozen times off stream, but if you have seen the content on my channel, my landings are not great while on live stream. So aiming for flight level 200 at around 60. Probably want to be a little bit light below that, so maybe 18,000 feet at 60 miles away. Oh, excuse me. I just drank a whole lot of water and it's giving me a little bit of the burps. We've still got that aircraft flying near us? No, we haven't. No, they've gone off somewhere else. Okay, cool. That land ahead of us? Is it just cloud? Oh no, of course it is. We're coming towards me. It's the island itself. Far out. Idiot. So there's the little island. Is it Santo Paulo? Oh, we're going to have a view of it soon anyway. Is that what it was called? Oh, sorry, Porto Santo. Excellent. So flight level 240, we are on target. This is so far so good. Awesome. So 220 just before 60. Just going to leave that open until we get the next next descent instruction. There we go. Descend and maintain 12,000. I am going to do that at 1800 feet per minute down for a little bit because I just want to get a little bit lower than what we are. I did say I want to be at 18,000 feet 60 miles away, and we are now a little bit too high up. Probably did descend at 1500 feet per minute for a little bit too long. It's okay. There's no panic in my voice. We'll be fine. Sorry if you can hear me swallowing on mic. It's a condenser microphone, lapel type thing attached to my collar, and watching my replays, I realised that you can hear it quite audibly on the stream. So it goes flight level 200. I'm going to put the seatbelt signs on now because it does start to get a little bit bumpy as we get closer and closer to Madeira. And once we get below 19,000, which is any second now, we'll change the QNH. It's reading at 30.15 at the moment. For the next couple of thousand feet, I'm just going to drop down to 2,000 feet per minute. Because again, we are just a little bit higher up than I had anticipated. But we can put our QNH in, so 3015, no, 15 I said, there we go. So 40 miles away, I want to be at 13 or so thousand feet. Now, with the turn, it will give us a little bit of altitude to play with. We have picked up a little bit of speed, so we're doing 245 knots right now, but that's fine. It's not picking up more than that. Engines are right down to idle 24.2%, so we can't descend any faster than this. But we're going to be we're descending. The descent rate's fine. So it looks like we will be pretty much on target for so 13,000 feet, 40 away, so that's good. That actually worked out pretty well. See if there's any further instruction. Still down to 12,000. Just going to leave that open because we will get instruction pretty soon. There it is, I knew we would, down to 6,000. But we can do that at 1,800 feet for a little bit. Once we get below 10, We will reduce that again to 1,500 feet, and then finally we'll have 1,200 feet as we start to get onto final. We actually do need to reduce our speed down to 220 knots because this aircraft, it's one thing it doesn't do, it doesn't sort of really reduce our speed in time for flaps, so I'll just do it manually. I imagine they do that in real life anyway, I have no idea. Now this freaked me out the first time it did it. I don't know if you just saw on the nav display, the nav line disappeared. I thought, oh shit, we've lost navigation, but no, it just disappears and comes back again. Anyway, that's 10,000, so landing lights can come on, seatbelts are still on, everything else is looking good. We'll just double check. Parking brake is still off. I will arm the spoilers now because I'm likely to forget otherwise. Did they give us an updated QNH? Oh, it's just sending us down to 3,000 now. Cool, we will keep doing that at 1,800 feet. Keep speed not above 230, so that's fine because we're coming down to 220. I might just adjust our descent to 1,500 feet, and there's our QNH 30.14, so we weren't far off. Then we're going to do this weird turn to the right thing, which we seem to do. Oh no, it's actually just lining us up. Excellent. So a little over 25 miles away from that final turn, and we're at just coming into 8,000 feet. So yeah, we're on target for being at the right altitude for this landing. I'll start putting flaps out when we're around 15 miles away-ish from the top of this turn. That seems to be about right. So once the top of this turn hits 20 miles, we'll then slow down to 2.0. In fact, it probably will tell us to go down to 195. I guarantee it will. If it hasn't already. No, 230 still. So the airport itself is, that's it right there. You can see the end of runway 23. As it disappears, I can obviously move the camera view, but that's the runway there. I'm just going to check that there's anyone else in the area. There's not. Often there's aircraft already spawned in who have either landed or are about to take off, but not this morning. So we should not get any go-arounds. Just going to see what the nav display says altitude should be at. So 3,000. Oh yeah, descending 3,000 there. So 2,000. By this waypoint up here, and then as we come round we'll be descending up through 1,200. See if we've got a speed change yet. No, but we have been told to go down to 2,000 already. So punch that in. We will have a speed instruction down to 195 fairly soon. In fact, I was meant to put my speed down to 200 already, so we will do that. And we can probably adjust our descent rate to 1,200 feet now as well. So as soon as we get that instruction to, there it is, predictable. You'd think I've found this route before. Keep speed not above 195, so we will put flaps to 1 because that will take us down to speed of 195 automatically. And so I've taken auto speed off, manual speed off, and we can now let the aircraft control that for us. So once we're a little bit closer, we'll go flaps to 2. And we'll get the gear down just before we start turning, I think. Or maybe on turn. Gonna just reduce our descent rate to 800 feet. We are coming in just a little too, coming down a little too quickly. You said that already. And we're gonna go flaps to 2. Because this is such a tight turn, I'm not even going to activate approach as we come down, but also I'm not going to put a go around altitude in either. Because we do have to go around, we're just going to manually pull the nose up and climb up to 5,000. Just see if we've got any further instruction. Keep speed not above 160, so we do have to manually, I forgot about that, but actually we do have to put that in. So we will drop flaps to 3 pretty much now. So flaps to 3. We should be able to see, there's Madeira or Funchal right there. Because we're at 160, I'm going to, oh no, wait till a little bit closer. Wait till we've done a little bit more of the turn. So I'll probably put gear down just as we pass this waypoint here, R153. Should get an instruction to descend to 1200 fairly soon. Which I might just start doing that now. At 500 feet per minute, there it is. Predictable. All right, we're going to put the gear down now because we are getting pretty close. There we go, so flaps 3, gear down, and we'll be doing, landing will be at flaps full. Which we won't put in until we've turned a little bit more. When do we have to be down to 1200? Oh, you're coming up. It will give us another descent to instruction to 400, but I'm going to ignore it and then just hand fly in the rest because if I concentrate too much on getting us down to 400, then I miss the approach and it can be quite messy. Okay, so we're getting, I'm going to go flaps full. Speed onto auto, so we should have about, what is a 155 knot landing speed. I'm just going to check ATC again. Oh, it's sending us down to 900 now, which we will actually do at, oh, it's 400. Wait till it turns just a little bit more, then I'm going to take manual control. In fact, we'll do that now. So, manual control my aircraft. Because the gear's down, we'll get the auto brake set to medium.
1,000.
That's 1,000 feet. So you can see the threshold just to the right-hand side of the window pane in front of me. Just going to line her up. So I'll go straight ahead just a little bit more, and we are on coming a little bit low. Going to make that final turn and line her up. So you can see that 192 feet above the water, it is quite deceiving on where the aircraft needs to be sitting. 500 feet, that's a pretty good lineup. We are a little bit too high. Shit, we're off to the left. Don't panic, just get down.
400.
Okay, we're going to drop down onto the runway.
300. 200. 100.
One more line up.
60. 50.
And be off to the side just a little
30,
bit.
20. Retard.
That was a bit rough, and off to the side again. The runway did the aircraft started doing that stupid tip thing that it does do, which I did not take into account for, but I think I saved it. I think that was actually okay. I'm not just, I knew it was going to be rough. I did know it was going to be a rough landing. We'll slow down and we will make our turn into here. First time we ever landed this, I just kept going right down to the other end and did a U-turn at the end of the runway. It is, I think it's a 2.8 kilometre long runway, so plenty of room to land a 321. We are going to request taxi to the gates, so we're going to gate A17, which is not at the terminal. It is one of those remote stands in front of us there. But once we have finished making the turn here, I will get our APU started up. So I'm just going to slow us down. You just stay there, Mr. British. Oh no, you'll be making a left turn anyway. Just drop my thrust so I don't careen into you. Turn left. Thank you. Okay, APU coming on. Oh, it didn't turn off the landing lights, and we'll get the strobe off. APU started up. I am going to do the old blue light. Oh shit, we're turning right there. So it's the first. It's the first remote stand, and we'd go up a bit of a hill. While we're going up the hill, I will get the APU bleed on, so we have some bit of air. Can turn that off. Oh, we're coming in too fast, don't. Just about took out the pushback tug. That is us. We are in Madeira. I have to say I'm pretty happy with that landing. I'm not disappointed at all. Knew it was going to be rough. Was not expecting the wing tip. Sorry, the wing roll glitch to happen, which is what I'm calling it, but it did happen, and I think I rescued it quite nicely. So we'll get the beacon light off, the nav lights can come off, engine bleed 1 and 2 can come off, as can the generators for the engines because they are off as well, fuel pumps, and we will chuck on external power, and let's, just for something different, let's get the ramp connected, which will open our door straight away. We can turn off the APU. Oh, the taxi light's still on. Yes, you can shut up, thank you. Just check everything else is all good. Parking brake is set. Everything else is fine. Takes ages for this ramp to come across. Have we got the woman on it? Oh, we haven't. Oh, usually there's a crew member standing on that to greet the passenger. Oh, there she is. Hello. She's talking to someone. I think she's just gone a bit crazy. I do have a ground equipment add-on here, which is why you can hear the noises. What? I'm getting spammed in the chat. Excellent. Hot photos of my sister. Yeah, sure, mate. Anyway, that is us in Madeira. So thank you for watching along. Do appreciate it. And if you're watching this in the replay, like I said, it's about 40 minutes of just cruise time going along. So you can fast forward to the descent and landing. But that is us all done. I probably should turn the seatbelts off, get the passengers to get out of the aircraft. Oh, too late. Ramp's already reversing. This is something Asobo and Microsoft need to fix, is the ramp should stay there until you tell it otherwise. Really annoying, just destroys some of that realism. But never mind. Anyway, like I said, thank you very much for watching along. If you're watching this in the replay or if you did catch some of this live, I do stream twice a week, so Thursday nights, Sunday mornings my time, which is Australian Eastern Daylight. No, it's not. Australian Eastern Standard Time. So it's 7 AM Sunday, 8:30 PM Thursday. But if you want to see my next live streams, just check out the schedule. The next one is, actually, we can put it up. The next one is, that is the wrong slide. Let's see if I can fix that live on stream. I probably can, actually. Yes, I can. It should be that one there. No, I can't. I can't change it live on stream. It's the wrong slide. Anyway, the next flight is United Airlines. Oh, no, there it is. Now it's updated. There we go. So next flight is United Airlines A320neo flying from Guam to Shook International in Micronesia. So that is 2100 Universal Time on the 12th, the 11th, or 7 AM local time on the 13th. So you will see that in the stream schedule. So if you want to check that out, if you want to stream along, I will have the route in the live chat before the start of the stream starts, so that'll be happening within the 15-minute time. But until then, I will see you on the next flight.